Diabetes is one of the most prevalent chronic disorders globally, affecting over 500 million adults, with numbers expected to rise over 780 million by 2045. This condition is a lifelong health concern that affects how you convert food into energy. Your body breaks down food into glucose, which your cells use for energy. Insulin, a hormone released by the pancreas, facilitates this. For those with diabetes, this process falters, and either your insulin production takes a severe hit or your body doesn't respond well to it. As a result, more glucose lies idle in your bloodstream. This can cause high glucose levels in your bloodstream, which can damage your nerves and blood vessels and disrupt your body's normal functions. However, there's some good news. You can manage diabetes with a proper diet, physical activity, and medication. Diet will be the focal point of today's video. We'll discuss 3 superfoods that can help you manage diabetes by improving insulin sensitivity. So, without any further delays, let's get started. We're going to start with super delicious and juicy blueberries. You are not alone if the very thought of indulging in this delicious treat makes your mouth water. Blueberries are lovable in every sense. They're sweet, tasty, and most importantly, good for you. Its rich nutrient profile also makes it a perfect superfood for diabetes management. Blueberries have proven to have potential anti-diabetic effects. A study on obese, insulin-resistant adults who consumed blueberries regularly for 6 weeks showed a significant improvement in their insulin sensitivity. You may be thinking, how are obesity and diabetes related? Well, it turns out that obesity is one of the leading risk factors for type 2 diabetes. Putting on an excess amount of weight puts you at a greater risk of developing diabetes. But don't worry, blueberries can help you out. Blueberries are loaded with an antioxidant called anthocyanin, which are water-soluble vacuolar pigments responsible for the striking bluish-purple color of blueberries. Anthocyanin flavonoids account for up to 60% of the polyphenols in ripe blueberries. Polyphenols are beneficial plant compounds with antioxidant properties. Studies on animals have shown that anthocyanin supplementation can effectively reduce almost 10% fat mass and lead to lesser adiposity. Adiposity is when you tend to have too many fat deposits in your body, which often causes weight gain. Although we must note that animal studies may not necessarily translate to direct benefits for humans, they still offer valuable insights into the effects of interventions on biological workings and physiology, which can serve as a basis for further research on humans. With that in mind, increased blueberry intake was also associated with a 5% decline in arterial stiffness, which can be easily linked to cardiac complications. Arterial stiffness is usually associated with hypertension or high blood pressure, a significant risk factor for cardiovascular troubles. Blueberries are a superfruit in the truest sense, all thanks to their numerous health benefits. Just remember, blueberries aren't the sole solution to weight loss and diabetes management, but they can help when added to a nutritious diet paired with an active lifestyle. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead, have a blueberry smoothie, or add a handful to your granola mix or yogurt. Either way, you don't want to miss out on this superfood. Do you start your mornings with a refreshing sip of green tea? If yes, then kudos to you. You're already one step ahead of your diabetes management regime. Green tea contains a rich composition of flavonols, naturally occurring plant compounds with antioxidant properties. The wide-ranging health benefits associated with green tea come primarily from its rich catechin content. Flavonols, such as epigallocatechin gallate, EGCG, are among the most common catechins in green tea extract. Studies have shown that drinking more than 4 cups of green tea daily can reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. Animal studies have also established this claim. Increasing green tea intake in rat populations was repeatedly found to significantly improve insulin sensitivity and decrease fasting plasma glucose concentrations in the blood. It also led to lower glycated hemoglobin, or HbA1c, a vital glucose monitoring test that gives you a cumulative average glucose measure for 2 to 3 months. Researchers also saw that green tea consumption helped enhance the capability of adipocytes to uptake glucose. Adipocytes are the primary energy storage sites and crucial aids in endocrine function. Interestingly, studies have also shown that catechin prevents diabetes induced by streptozotocin, protecting pancreatic cells. Streptozotocin is a therapeutic agent used in chemotherapy to treat cancerous growths in pancreatic beta cells. This compound often damages pancreatic beta cells, leading to elevated blood glucose levels and putting you at an increased risk of diabetes. Although the results of human trials investigating green tea consumption with insulin sensitivity are limited, sufficient evidence is available that speaks for the credibility of green tea as a helpful solution to diabetes. A study focusing on Japanese individuals found that those who drank green tea had significantly lower chances of developing type 2 diabetes. One of the researchers that clubbed several cohort studies showed similar results and concluded that tea consumption reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes by significant amounts. Besides helping manage diabetes, green tea aids in improving brain function. Studies have shown that EGCG in green tea effectively counters the oxidative stress caused by free radicals and prevents the development of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Research also associates increased green tea consumption with reduced cardiovascular issues. It is known for its ability to deal with cardiovascular risk profiles, such as hypertension and lipid buildups, with an upper hand, which elevates its role as more than just an average beverage. Have it hot, or if you prefer something cold, maybe some green tea over ice. You can even give green tea matcha a try. Add it to your smoothies or yogurt. And don't be fooled, green tea isn't limited to beverages. You can incorporate it into your baked goods like muffins, cookies, or cakes. It's also great as a flavorful salad dressing when mixed with vinegar, oil, and other seasonings. Moving on, let's spice it up a little with cinnamon. Cinnamon is the perfect age-old spice that has numerous medicinal properties and comes with plenty of health benefits. Research suggests that cinnamon extracts have anti-diabetic effects. Numerous cell studies have shown that it has similar activities to insulin, as it promotes glucose uptake in your skeletal muscles and helps derive energy. Cinnamon has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce fasting blood glucose levels in those with diabetes, potentially making it a beneficial addition to diabetes management. Studies often vouch for the neuroprotective effects of cinnamon. Researchers investigated the effect of cinnamon on glutamate, an essential neurotransmitter that helps carry out various cellular functions in your brain. However, if present in toxic amounts, glutamate could hamper the brain's regular process, attack your neurons, and cause cell death. The study concluded that cinnamon extracts helped prevent neuronal death and improved overall brain function in cases with glutamate toxicity. The brain plays an essential role in glucose metabolism, so if your brain is functioning normally, your other bodily functions will too. Insulin in the brain inhibits glucose production in the liver, so when insulin levels are high, the brain sends a signal to the liver to reduce its production of glucose in the bloodstream. When the brain's functioning becomes impaired, insulin sensitivity may decrease, resulting in reduced communication between the brain and the liver. In such cases, insulin may not affect glucose production in the liver. This is where cinnamon could be of some help. Cinnamon has been shown to improve brain function and insulin sensitivity, leading to better communication in the liver-brain axis. As a result, your glucose metabolism improves, and you help avoid elevated blood sugar levels. Another advantage of cinnamon, specifically cinnamon extract, is that it can potentially treat cognitive decline and neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's, as they prevent the buildup of beta-amyloid plaques in your brain. During neurodegeneration, proteins, called amyloids, accumulate to excessive levels and form clusters called amyloid plaque. This buildup often aggregates the space between your neurons, disrupting their smooth functioning. This is the main reason behind the occurrence of Alzheimer's. Besides, cinnamon is also beneficial in treating cardiovascular disorders. So how about having cinnamon-infused tea? Oatmeal, muffins, pancakes, or toast? You can even sprinkle some on grapefruit and apples and enjoy. Being overweight can put you at an increased risk of diabetes. That's right. If you want to avoid high blood sugar levels or keep them in check, it's important to focus on weight management and combating obesity through some lifestyle changes. Studies have shown you can prevent diabetes with weight loss through moderate physical activity combined with appropriate calorie reduction. Looking for some practical weight management tips? Watch 13 smart weight loss tips for women or 11 best weight loss tips for men. Click one, or better yet, watch both. Which superfood will you include in your diet? Let us know in the comments below.